Cleanliness isn't just about spotless streets and shining buildings. It's a reflection of a nation's values, responsibility, and deep respect for its environment and people. From crystal clear lakes and lush green cities to waste-free towns and efficient recycling systems, the world's cleanest countries don't just promise beauty. They deliver harmony between nature, urban life, and human behavior. These nations are global examples of sustainable living. Their commitment to hygiene, eco-friendly policies, and citizen participation results in places where the air smells fresher, the water flows purer, and every corner feels thoughtfully preserved. Whether it's walking through manicured parks, breathing easy in smog-free skies, or watching locals take pride in their surroundings, cleanliness becomes a lifestyle, not just a law. These are places where you can breathe easier, walk farther, and feel safer, not just because of modern infrastructure, but because there's a shared cultural understanding that cleanliness is collective. It is quiet discipline in motion. It's seen in how a train floor stays spotless, even after rush hour, how mountain trails remain pristine despite heavy foot traffic, or how public restrooms feel like private sanctuaries. So, whether you're a traveler yearning for fresh air and thoughtful design, a filmmaker chasing unspoiled beauty, or simply a citizen of the world curious about how clean living looks at its best, this journey is for you. So let's journey to the top 10 cleanest countries in the world, where nature and humanity coexist with care, and where every traveler feels instantly refreshed. 1. Switzerland mountains, lakes, and perfection. Switzerland is the gold standard of cleanliness. From the moment you step into Zurich or Geneva, you'll notice the gleaming streets, organized waste disposal systems, and the absence of litter. But this isn't just cosmetic. Switzerland runs on a deep-rooted culture of order, civic discipline, and environmental consciousness. Recycling is not optional here. It's a proud practice. Lake Geneva shimmers like a jewel. Mountain towns like Zermatt are car-free, and the air, even in cities, feels alpine fresh. Trains are spotless, public toilets feel like hotel bathrooms, and even cows grazing on rolling hills seem to live a cleaner life. The Swiss take pride in preserving what nature has generously provided. Rainwater is often collected for reuse. Urban planning emphasizes green spaces. Composting is common. Trains are spotless. Public toilets feel like hotel bathrooms. And even cows, grazing on rolling hills, seem to live a cleaner, quieter life. In Switzerland, cleanliness isn't about following rules. It's a way of life, deeply rooted in respect for nature, for neighbors, and for future generations. It's a nation that doesn't just clean up, it prevents the mess to begin with. 2. Singapore, small in size, mighty in cleanliness. Singapore is often dubbed the cleanest city on earth. This island nation is famous for its strict laws. Yes, chewing gum is still banned. But beyond the rules lies a society that genuinely values public hygiene. From meticulously scrubbed sidewalks to immaculate hawker centers, everything here feels sanitized and serene. Public transport is graffiti-free, littering is rare, and even drains are regularly washed. Green buildings, vertical gardens, and a nationwide push for sustainable urban development make Singapore a futuristic eco-paradise. The best part? It's not forced. It's cultural. Singaporeans grow up respecting their shared spaces. The result is a city-state where every street feels like it's been freshly cleaned just for you. But what truly sets Singapore apart is its green vision. From the futuristic vertical gardens of Marina Bay to the lush botanic gardens, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, this is a country that merges technology with ecology. Buildings are required to include greenery in their design. Rainwater harvesting, solar panels, and green rooftops are not exceptions. They're expected. The country's Zero Waste Master Plan aims for a circular economy where waste is minimized at every level. Students are taught environmental responsibility early on, and large-scale public campaigns like Keep Singapore Clean are as much about culture as they are about regulation. Singapore isn't just clean because it's strict. It's clean because its people believe in the power of shared space and sustainable progress. 3. Norway. When nature is this majestic, you protect it, and Norway does just that. This Scandinavian wonderland blends wild beauty with urban purity. Oslo boasts cutting-edge waste management, electric buses, and parks cleaner than most hotel lobbies. Head into the fjords, and you'll find pristine waters that look like mirrors, reflecting snow-capped peaks and emerald cliffs. Norwegians cherish nature, and their policies reflect it. Strict emissions, controls, recycling incentives, and a national obsession with sustainability keep the environment pristine. Even small towns have spotless roads, maintained trails, and zero tolerance for pollution. Public spaces are spotless. Waste is meticulously sorted into bio, plastic, paper, and residual categories. Norwegians recycle because they want to, because to them, every bottle returned and every bin sorted is an act of stewardship. Even the air feels different here, cleaner, crisper, full of forest scent and sea breeze. That's because Norway has some of the lowest air pollution levels in the world, and its reliance on hydropower ensures that industry rarely disrupts the clarity of its skies. In Norway, cleanliness is a quiet, collective vow, an unspoken promise to honor the beauty that surrounds them and pass it on, untouched, to generations ahead. 4. Japan, polished, precise, pristine. Japan's cleanliness isn't a rule, it's a ritual. From the neon-lit chaos of Tokyo's Shibuya crossing to the serene bamboo groves of Kyoto, you'll notice a striking consistency: immaculate public spaces, organized walkways, and virtually no litter. But what's most surprising? Trash bins are rare, yet the streets stay spotless. Why? Because in Japan, cleanliness is a personal responsibility, not a public duty. Children in schools are taught early to clean their classrooms, hallways, and even restrooms. Office workers wipe down their desks daily. After public events like fireworks or festivals, volunteers, not staff, stay behind to clean. The idea is simple. If you use a space, you leave it better than you found it. Despite densely populated cities and some of the world's busiest train stations, floors shine, walls are unmarred, and even vending machines look freshly polished. Japan's public restrooms are often cleaner than private ones elsewhere, with heated seats, bidet functions, and soothing music in even the most ordinary facilities. Even in disaster-struck areas, like after the 2011 earthquake and tsunami, cleanup efforts were swift, organized, and community-led. It wasn't about rebuilding alone, it was about restoring dignity through cleanliness. In Japan, cleanliness transcends appearance. It is mindfulness in motion, a reflection of inner discipline manifest in every shared space. 5. Finland forests, lakes, silence, and not a speck of trash. Forests, lakes, silence, and not a speck of trash in sight. Finland is where purity and practicality meet. With over 75% of its land covered by forest and more than 180,000 lakes, it's one of the most naturally beautiful countries in the world, and perhaps one of the most respectfully maintained. But Finland's cleanliness goes beyond sweeping streets and filtered air. It's embedded in the Finnish way of life. Understated, efficient, and profoundly eco-conscious. Cities like Helsinki, Tampere, and Turku are urban examples of order. Sidewalks are wide and clean. Public transport, mostly electric, runs on time and without graffiti. Waste bins are sorted and often accompanied by instructions or sensors that alert the city when they're full. Even in the middle of winter, when snow blankets the land, pathways are salted and shoveled with military precision, making movement safe and serene. Finland has some of the cleanest air in the world, according to WHO rankings, thanks to limited industrial emissions, vast tree cover, and forward-thinking environmental policies. Much of the country runs on renewable energy, and public buildings are designed with low carbon footprints in mind. But what truly sets Finland apart is its cultural attitude toward cleanliness and nature. Every man's right, a unique Finnish law, allows anyone to roam freely through forests, swim in lakes, or pick berries and mushrooms, as long as they leave no trace behind. This law isn't abused, it's honored. Locals treat the environment not as a backdrop, but as a living extension of their home. Big 6. Iceland. Iceland feels like it was handcrafted by nature and protected by people who know they're only guests. With its bubbling geysers, glowing northern lights, and silent lava fields, Iceland is a place where the earth feels alive, and yet astonishingly clean. The capital, Reykjavik, is one of the world's greenest cities, powered almost entirely by geothermal and hydroelectric energy. Streets here aren't just tidy. They're steamy in winter thanks to natural underground heating systems that melt ice and snow without chemicals. Air pollution is nearly non-existent. Public transport is clean and increasingly electric. Waste is efficiently sorted into compost, recyclables, and landfill, while food waste is used to generate energy. Tap water, drawn from glacial springs, is so pure it's often more refreshing than bottled. But Iceland's secret isn't just smart infrastructure, it's cultural mindfulness. Littering is not only rare, it's frowned upon socially. Tourists are often inspired to leave cleaner than they arrived. Even the most heavily visited sites, like the Blue Lagoon or Thingvellir National Park, are remarkably free of trash, thanks to strict preservation rules and a deep respect for untouched landscapes. Whether hiking through mossy cliffs, driving along volcanic coastlines, or relaxing in a thermal spring, visitors experience more than just beauty. They experience uninterrupted natural clarity, carefully protected by a nation that sees itself as the planet's guardian. 7. New Zealand. New Zealand doesn't just look clean, it feels alive with purity. Rolling meadows, dramatic fjords, and ice-blue rivers wind through this island nation like scenes from a storybook. And despite its popularity among tourists and filmmakers, New Zealand remains astonishingly unspoiled, thanks to a culture built on respect for land, indigenous wisdom, and practical environmental care. Cities like Wellington and Christchurch are clean, green, and friendly, with walkable downtowns, efficient recycling systems, and strong urban planning. You'll find parks on nearly every corner and waterfronts that double as community gathering spaces, all maintained to high standards. But the soul of New Zealand's cleanliness lies in the countryside. National parks like Fiordland and Abel Tasman are managed with incredible care. Hiking trails, called tracks, are monitored and maintained, and hikers are expected to follow the "leave no trace" philosophy. Kiwis don't need signs to remind them. The land is sacred, and that belief shapes behavior. Even remote beaches and campgrounds are litter-free. Local communities often organize cleanup drives, and conservation efforts to protect native birds and plant life are widespread. Rooted in the Maori principle of kaitiakitanga, guardianship over nature, New Zealand embodies a rare harmony between people and place. It's not just clean, it's spiritually and physically cared for. 8. Canada vast, wild, and quietly immaculate, Canada's cleanliness mirrors the grandeur of its landscape. From the cosmopolitan polish of Vancouver and Toronto to the untamed beauty of Banff and Jasper, Canada offers an experience that's as hygienic as it is humbling. You can hike a mountain, paddle a crystal clear lake, and walk into a spotless downtown cafe, all in one day. Cities consistently rank among the cleanest in the world, thanks to robust recycling programs, green infrastructure, and civic pride. Vancouver, for instance, has a goal to become the world's greenest city. With zero waste, widespread composting, and aggressive carbon-cutting targets. Public spaces are pristine, not because of heavy enforcement, but because Canadians, by and large, believe in courtesy and shared responsibility. Please recycle signs aren't threats. They're polite nudges that actually work. Sidewalks are regularly cleaned, parks are tended like backyards, and even urban wildlife, like raccoons or foxes, seem to roam through cleaner streets than most global capitals. Canada's air and water quality are among the best in the developed world, in part due to its massive forests, glacier-fed rivers, and low population density, but also due to policies that protect them. Whether you're sipping maple syrup in Quebec or stargazing in the Yukon, cleanliness isn't just seen. It felt like a cool mountain breeze after fresh snow. 9. Austria elegant, efficient, and eternally graceful. Austria is where cleanliness becomes a form of cultural refinement. In Vienna, cobblestone streets are swept daily. Historic palaces gleam. Public fountains run with drinking water so pure, it comes straight from alpine springs. There's a sense of old-world charm fused with modern eco-consciousness. And it's not just in the capital. In smaller towns like Innsbruck, Salzburg, or Hallstatt, streets are spotless, recycling bins are color-coded and respected, and even the smallest alleyways are immaculately maintained. Trains arrive like clockwork, and stations are clean enough to feel like art galleries. Austria leads Europe in waste management and environmental regulations, with some of the highest recycling rates on the continent. Energy is increasingly sourced from renewables. Schools emphasize ecological literacy, and public awareness campaigns reinforce personal responsibility for the environment. But cleanliness in Austria is also about visual balance. Gardens are carefully trimmed. Window boxes overflow with vibrant flowers. Rural farmlands look curated. It's a country where order isn't rigid, it's beautiful, almost like a symphony of civic pride and aesthetic sensibility. Here, to care for the environment is to participate in a cultural legacy, one that treats nature not only as a resource, but as a living masterpiece. 10. Luxembourg. Tiny but towering in standards, Luxembourg is a hidden gem of hygiene. Nestled in the heart of Europe, this small nation is a beacon of eco-efficiency and urban cleanliness. With a population just over 600,000, Luxembourg has the scale and the mindset to manage its environment with precision and care. Its capital, Luxembourg City, is a picturesque blend of medieval charm and modern design. Winding streets, glass towers, and ancient fortresses coexist in near-perfect condition. Public bins are widespread, well-labeled, and regularly maintained. Green spaces are woven throughout the city, from massive parks to rooftop gardens, all tended with great pride. What truly sets Luxembourg apart is its forward-thinking infrastructure. Public transport is completely free, reducing private vehicle emissions and encouraging cleaner air. The country invests heavily in smart energy solutions, sustainable construction, and circular economy practices. Waste is sorted at the household level with strict enforcement and incentives. New housing developments must meet high energy efficiency standards. And because the country is compact, everything from clean water management to forest preservation is tightly regulated and highly effective. Luxembourg may be small on the map, but in terms of cleanliness, sustainability, and responsibility, it stands tall among giants. In a world increasingly burdened by pollution and waste, these 10 nations shine like beacons of what's possible when cleanliness becomes a collective value. They prove that a clean environment isn't just about appearances. It's about wellness, wisdom, and respect. As travelers, stepping into these places feels like breathing easier, thinking clearer, and living better. Even if just for a while. So which one are you packing for? The futuristic order of Singapore? the green poetry of Finland, or the mountain-perfumed air of Switzerland. Wherever you go, let their example inspire, not just to visit, but to return home with new habits, deeper respect, and a cleaner conscience.